And that's the end of the first half. As the teams head to the locker room, the Spartans lead the Bulldogs by a score.
You guys stink.
Geez, Coach, we're only down a couple of points.
No, I mean you guys really smell. You need to hit the showers. And here, I got every one of you new bars of soap from the Sterling Soap Company. Each bar is artisan crafted using natural ingredients and essential oils. They also have shave soaps, colognes, beard balm, and a whole lot more. Now get in there.
But Coach, we have another half to play.
I don't care. I can't stand to be around you.
A few minutes later.
All right, bring it in tight. You guys are still playing terrible, but you're smelling great out there. Now listen, you're going to need to stock up for the rest of the season. We got a lot of tough games left. So go to sterlingsoap.com after the game. That's STIRLING soap.com. You got that?
Yes, Coach.
Great. Sterlingsoap.com on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Sterlingsoap.com.
This is Basketball History 101 with Rick Loayza.
Welcome back to Award-winning Basketball History 101, part of the Sports History Network. I am your host, Rick Loayza, and this is the podcast where we bring to life some of the forgotten stories from basketball history. We are bringing old school basketball to a new school audience, and today we bring you a story that I believe does not get talked about enough. The story is not a secret or anything. Lots of people witnessed it. The events were on television, and it featured names like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Isiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, Patrick Ewing, Chris Mullin, and Robert Parrish, just to name a few. What exactly am I talking about? Well, back in the summer of 1984, there was a series of 8 exhibition games between the 1984 U.S. Olympic basketball team and a collection of NBA All-Stars. The purpose of this 8-game tour was to bring attention to the upcoming Olympics and to develop some hype around Team USA. And the exhibition tour did exactly that, because Team USA, a team made up of the best university-level players that America could find, had defeated these NBA All-Stars in all 8 games. Now imagine for a moment that we were to make up a team today of the 12 best university players in the country. Now let's imagine even further that their opponent that we put together is a team made up of NBA All-Stars like Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Victor Wembanyama, Anthony Edwards, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Donovan Mitchell, and a healthy Anthony Davis and a healthy Kyrie Irving. Let us be realistic for a moment. Would you ever give the university team a realistic chance of even winning 1 game out of 8? I wouldn't. I would say that the NBA All-Stars win all 8 of those games by a wide margin. But that is not what happened in 1984. The consensus at the time was that the NBA All-Stars would destroy Team USA. So who exactly was on the 1984 USA Olympic team? Well, first we have Steve Alford, then Vern Fleming, Joe Klein, John Koncak, Sam Perkins, Alvin Robertson, Wayman Tisdale, Jeff Turner, Leon Wood, Chris Mullin, Patrick Ewing, and of course, Michael Jordan. Now, as a group, those are some big names, but remember, none of them had actually played in the NBA yet. This was not prime Michael Jordan and prime Patrick Ewing. At the time of these games, they were still 20 and 21 years old respectively. The youngest player on the team was Steve Alford at 19, and the oldest player on the team was Sam Perkins at 23. So, were the NBA All-Stars really All-Stars? Or was it just a collection of names from players around the league? Here are some of the names that played on that NBA team. Magic Johnson, Isiah Thomas, Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, James Worthy, Clyde Drexler, Bill Walton, Danny Ainge, and a couple of lesser players like Robert Reed and Mike Dunleavy Sr. These were some of the best players the NBA had to offer against a team of players that had yet to play a single NBA game. So how in the world did the university players defeat the NBA players in all 8 games that they played against each other? Now, let us not pretend that the NBA players simply let Team USA win in order to get the team hyped up ahead of the Olympics. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Isiah Thomas are players that would sooner die than let their opponent win a basketball game. And you can go to YouTube and find some highlights of some of these games. And I watched a whole bunch to prepare for this story. And in my honest opinion, the NBA players were playing for real and doing what they could to actually win those games. And the other thing that I found in my research is that these games were played by modified rules. They did not go by exact NBA rules, nor did they go by Olympic rules. Now, generally speaking, they were going by mostly NBA rules, but there was one significant rule change specifically for this tour. When Team USA won the first couple of games, the committee in charge of the entire tour changed one significant rule. They went to unlimited fouls. Theoretically, a player could rack up 9 personal fouls and continue to play in the game. And that's exactly what happened. In one particular game, Quinn Buckner of the NBA team racked up 8 personal fouls in an attempt to stop Michael Jordan. They were fouling Jordan on almost every shot that he took, and some of them were called fouls and some of them were not. And that is what many said of the unlimited fouls. They said that that specific rule change was designed to stop Michael Jordan because he was showing up the NBA players. And I can't really argue with that position. Jordan was having his way with those NBA All-Stars. Now remember, Jordan was still only 20 years old during this tour, and he was clearly already the best player on the court. Now, he was not scoring 35 or 40 points during those games. He typically scored in the high teens or low 20s because, after all, Team USA was coached by the famous Bobby Knight of Indiana University, and any team coached by Bobby Knight was going to emphasize team basketball, not just one guy carrying the entire load. But it was clear that Jordan was the best individual offensive player on the court and the best individual defensive player on the court. Guys like Isiah, Bird, and Magic were getting a preview of what they were going to have to deal with the following season. In fact, the entire nation got a preview of what was coming to the NBA that following season when Jordan would play his rookie year with the Chicago Bulls. And the games were not blowouts. These were highly competitive games with close scores. It's just that Team USA won all 8 of the games over the NBA All-Stars. In one game played in Minneapolis, Team USA won by a score of 94-90, with Sam Perkins as the high scorer for Team USA with just 16 points. But if you do get a chance to watch highlights on YouTube, you can hear the announcers just marveling at Jordan and the entire Team USA for playing so well against the best that the NBA had to offer. They were shocked that Team USA even won a single game, let alone all 8 of them. So, how did Team USA do when they got to Los Angeles for the actual Olympics? They destroyed everybody by huge margins, including beating Spain by 31 points in the gold medal game. Between the 8-game tour against the NBA All-Stars and the international opponents at the Olympics, Team USA went 16-0 that summer. They didn't lose to anybody. The 1984 team was the last team of American amateurs to win the gold medal, because in 1988, that team only won the bronze medal. And then in 1992, everything changed and we saw the original Dream Team featuring 11 NBA Hall of Famers, including 3 returning players from the 1984 team: Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing, and Chris Mullin. That 1984 team was truly one of the great amateur teams ever. For them to beat a team made up of NBA All-Stars was truly incredible. And they did not just do it once. They did it 8 times in 8 tries. Well, That is it for today. Join us next time when we share another story from basketball history. That's next time on Basketball History 101, part of the Sports History Network, the headquarters of Sports Yesteryear. Go to sportshistorynetwork.com to find out more about this and other sports history podcasts. If you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts. And check out our page on Facebook. It's called Basketball History 101 Podcast. There you will find short historical posts, and I'll also announce there when new episodes come out. I want to thank my producer and editor, Jacob Loayza. Join us each week as we continue to mine the history of basketball for more great stories from the past. Take care, and see you soon.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com. Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, aka the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.